time to officially announce the finalists for the AP Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year awards. The winners will be revealed as part of the 12th annual NFL Honors taking place on February 9th. We're going to start on the offensive side of the ball.
This is really cool.
AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. Here are your 4 finalists. Let's take a gander.
Woo.
Oh, my goodness. 3 finalists, excuse me. Brock Purdy, 49ers quarterback. Interesting campaign Peter Schrager made down the stretch for one Brock Purdy. Kenneth Walker III, the Michigan State running back drafted by the Seahawks, exploded on the scene early with a team offensively that not a lot of people knew where Pete Carroll was going. He was a fantastic option. And then, of course, Garrett Wilson, who shined even as the Jets went through their quarterback question mark as the season went down the stretch. So which of the finalists, you guys, stands out to you the most? Kyle, you get to start.
Well, Purdy jumps out, and Peter's been on this for weeks. Peter was pointing this out. It's important to remember that the playoff win last week or this week or wherever has nothing to do with the voting because the voting's already in. Played so few games, it's historical. If you look back at some of the rookies of the year, offensive over the years, sometimes to find this few games, you have to go to when they played a 12-game season. People like Jim Brown going all the way back. Odell won it playing very few games, but we've never seen this few games in a season that was not shortened by a strike or by history. It would be unprecedented for him to win.
Purdy has only played in 6 regular season games, but he did win every one of those games, and the offense improved with Purdy. The case for Purdy's a tough one. It's Rookie of the Year, not Rookie of the Month, not Rookie of the 6 weeks, and yet I would say Brock Purdy did more for his team than any other one of these rookies, and look where they are now.
Yeah, you can't deny Brock Purdy's success, but a guy I'm looking at is down here at the bottom, Garrett Wilson, receiver over 1,000 yards, led all rookies, but it was more impressive how he did it. Multiple quarterbacks playing for the Jets this past year. The beginning of the season is Flacco throwing them passes and he's having good games. Then Zach Wilson comes back and he kind of goes quiet. Zach Wilson's not able to give him the ball. Next thing you know, Mike White comes in, and no matter who the quarterback was, Garrett Wilson found a way to be productive and to help his team come close to making the playoffs. Not quite there, but this guy's electric. He's fun to watch, shifty, just a really good football player.
He is. He is really fun to watch. Production, steady production, Rookie of the Year. This guy, like I said, exploded on the scene early this season. Where is this guy coming from? We had no idea that offensively this is what Seattle was going to rely on in terms of their identity. He was fantastic to watch. He's like shot out of a cannon, this young man. Kenneth Walker III, down the stretch, continued to have back-to-back-to-back 100-yard rushing games for the Seahawks. He looked great, but the point is year-long production for a team that looked good. And honestly, Pete Carroll, we just weren't sure where they were going to go. And look at him roll! Kenneth Walker III. I thought he was an early favorite, and the fact that he's on the list to finish out the season is a tremendous honor.
Finished the season strong, too. Remember, they won their last 2 games, and Kenneth Walker, they ran on his back to do it. Guys that did not get to the finalist stage. Chris Olave, we see you, great year. Damian Pierce, we see you, great year. Jamari Salyer out there for the Chargers, filling in for Rashawn Slater, great year. But we can only have 3 finalists, and those are the Offensive Rookie of the Year finalists.
It would have been nice to see where Breece Hall would have ended up had he stayed healthy for the New York Jets as well. But let's move on. That's enough of offense. Let's move on to ASP Defensive Player of the Year, the rookies, the finalists. The defensive players. Let's check out the list right here. Rookies, we have Sauce Gardner, and we know what he was able to do. We saw him when he was drafted, had the big chain on, said Sauce, had the bottle. He started as a mod, later earned Sauce. Aiden Hutchinson, Michael Jackson, Billie Jean himself out there, not only performing in training camp, but making plays defensively for the Lions throughout the season. And Tariq Woolen, the guy who came out of nowhere, the tall and lengthy corner for Seattle, getting it done, interceptions aplenty. These are your finalists for the Defensive Rookie of the Year. What do we all think? Who stands out? Who do your eyes draw to? Peter, you'll start it off.
Sauce Gardner's a first-team All-Pro as a rookie. That means that he was voted as the best at his position, and it was his first year in the league. A top 5 pick who not only exceeded expectations, but then set the standard for future top 5 picks at the position. They threw away from him. They didn't want to look at him, and every time he did throw to him, he seemed to pick it off. I thought he had a flawless rookie campaign, and is one of the many reasons why the Jets have reason for optimism moving forward. I go Sauce Gardner big time.
And Sauce Gardner had that unbelievable moment at Lambeau when he put on the cheese hat. And we were like, that's an endearing quality. That wasn't annoying. Like, we actually like that. Speaking of performing at Lambeau, Aiden Hutchinson had an unbelievable season for the Lions. Picked off Aaron Rodgers. I picked him as my defensive rookie of the year, but only because I'm a little bit biased towards Michigan. I had no idea if this was actually going to pan out. He made the Lions defense better. He was picking guys off. He was sacking quarterbacks. It wasn't like he was just a one-trick pony. We kind of fell in love with him, or we thought we were going to like him when we saw him on Hard Knocks, and then his play backed up his personality. His family is one that you really enjoy watching. He's a really fun player, and I am thrilled that he's going to be an anchor on the Lions defense for years to come.
It felt like Sauce ran away with this thing, but Hutchinson came running at the end. I'd like to see Sauce win just to see what he wears on stage at honors. I think there'd be a thrill for that. I do wonder, though, if he and his teammate can split the vote a little bit. So Garrett Wilson in offense, Sauce Gardner in defense. Lattimore and Kamara won it on the same team with the Saints a few years ago, both rookies of the year. I just get inside the heads of voters. Let's say you want Garrett Wilson and you vote for him for offensive rookie of the year. Then you get to defense rookie. Are you voting for two Jets, or are you made to say, let's spread the wealth, let's go to Hutchinson? He was amazing at the end of the year. That could happen, but Sauce was phenomenal.
Yeah, hard to deny Sauce or Aiden, but I want to give some love to Tariq Woolen. This was a guy, I appreciate a late-round draft pick. Came out of nowhere. No one expected to have this type of season that he had. I think it was 6 interceptions that he had. Also recovered some fumbles, and he became the guy in Seattle. Comparisons to Richard Sherman. He was there working with him in training camp. So loved watching Tariq Woolen, and him and Sauce Gardner, their teams played against each other at the end of the season, and they talked about kind of everybody comparing the two really good football players. Corner, not an easy position to go out there and perform as a rookie.
Drafting is really hard, but to have 2 rookies of the year nominees from the same team, Jets have 2 guys, Seahawks have 2 guys. Shout out to ownership and management for picking the right guys last year. That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
It's time to announce the finalists for the AP Coach of the Year and Assistant Coach of the Year. 50 AP voters. The winners will be revealed as part of the 12th annual NFL Honors right before Super Bowl 57. Here's a look at the Coach of the Year finalists.
Okay.
AP Coach of the Year. Here we go. It's a great list. Brian Daboll, what he did with the Giants in the turnaround this season. Sean McDermott, very talented, very skilled team, went through a lot of adversity, got his guys to where they needed to be. Doug Peterson, this team was 2-14 late December last year, being coached by Urban Meyer. He got Trevor Lawrence right in his second year. Kyle Shanahan, we already mentioned it, 2 quarterbacks went down. They were supposed to be, awesome defense and a fantastic rookie quarterback getting into the playoffs. And then, of course, Nick Sirianni with the Eagles getting them to another NFC championship. Kind of a super team as well, and a fantastic staff. Peter, this feels like this is where you just cook. Why don't you kick us off here?
Can't go wrong. I think
this
is one of those years where you can't go wrong. I would focus on the work that Nick Sirianni did at the very bottom there. This was not a team that everyone had going to the Super Bowl, and from wire to wire, they were the best team in the NFC, and they finished with that 1 seed. To me, Sirianni and the Eagles from week 1 when they blew out the Lions to then all the way at the end when they found a way to host the playoff game and get a bye. I go Sirianni and the Eagles as an interesting selection. Might be boring for the voters saying, hey, there was no come-from-nowhere story. No. This was just wire-to-wire, the best team in the NFC.
It's interesting that you said that. In my opinion, if I was voting, he is not the most valuable coach in his own division. I just go here and I stop. I love all these guys. Listen, you want to talk about preseason expectations? The Giants might have had the number 1 overall pick in the draft going into this year with a guy who's never been a head coach before on any level and was riding Josh Allen's coattails in Buffalo. No, the Giants were in the playoffs and winning in year 1. The way he did it, week 1 set the tone, going for it, getting the win. I think it's Daboll. Great candidates. I'd vote for Daboll.
Yeah, you talk about great candidates. Like, so many of these guys, there's a story to their season and their team. But Doug Peterson, to me, I mean, this is a team, Doug Peterson said when he took over, the team needed healing after what transpired for them as a team last year. And they had the first overall pick back-to-back years. I think it was 4 wins they had in the past 2 years. Doug Peterson goes in there. They win their division and then go on the wild card and get another win against the Chargers in such a crazy fashion. Yes, they lost in the divisional, but this is a regular season award. And Doug Peterson having them playing really good down the stretch was big.
I'm still working on my paperwork to submit to the AP for comeback Coach of the Year. I think that should be a category in and of itself because I think Doug Peterson would lead the list there. But my eye goes here because turning a team around is one thing. You have time to do that in the offseason. You can make decisions accordingly. You get handed certain situations. To deal with stuff that this man dealt with on the fly, the 49ers this year easily could have been, remember that really good 49ers team that had that unbelievable defense led by Nick Bosa? Well, they dropped 2 quarterbacks along the way, and, well, they petered out and never made the playoffs. That would have been an acceptable story to how the San Francisco year went for them. Kyle Shanahan got not 1 but 2 quarterbacks right after they lost Trey Lance first, then Jimmy Garoppolo. team's only gotten better.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, if we were going to do it based on who'd give the best speech,
Yeah.
I'd love to see Nick's speech
The
if he
beacon.
wins that.
The beacon.
That's the one.
I'd love to see Nick Sirianni mean mugging at the NFL honors.
Yeah.
That's
Just
great.
flat camera.
All right, so there's the head coach of the year. Then there's this cool award that the AP does, the assistant coach of the year. Let's announce the assistant coach of the year finalists here on Good Morning Football. These are the coordinators that really stood out. And the first is a 36-year-old former quarterback out of the University of North Carolina who had this Lions offense humming. Ben Johnson is first on the list. Number 2, DeMeco Ryans. 49ers had the number 1 rated defense most of the season. DeMeco Ryans, their emotional leader and the architect of all of it. And number 3, Eagles offensive coordinator. You see all the stuff that they do with Jalen Hurts. Shane Steichen works with Sirianni. Those are your 3. Kyle Brandt, who stands out on your list?
Well, listen, this is becoming the household name. This is guys could be going to the Super Bowl. I'd vote right here with what he's dealing with. This is a loaded, talented defense. This is a loaded, talented offense with incredible players. Didn't have that much to work with. Didn't know what they were getting out of those guys. He's not as famous. He's not the biggest name in the room. He's not even in the playoffs. I'd vote for Ben Johnson.
It's tricky. You got to close your eyes and think about the unit, not the team. And I'm going to double down on Ben Johnson
I love
as
it.
well. I am a 48-point game. I know it's 48-45, but don't care about what the defense does when you just look at his unit and job that he did with this offense. Tremendous.
And I'm going to go with DeMeco Ryans. And
Sure.
You talked about, they're star-studded. I remember asking some of my friends, hey, name the 49ers' entire secondary, and they couldn't do it. Emmanuel Mosley goes down with an injury. Diamador Lenore comes in there, continues to perform. Yes, they're on their 3rd-string quarterback, and they're able to do a lot of that because of who their defense is and what they're able to do.
I think DeMeco Ryans had an incredible season, and what he did was he took a Robert Saleh defense, and they didn't miss a beat. They got better, and they added players. Talanoa Hufanga, a guy that was a 5th-round pick that no one had ever heard of coming into this season, is now an all-pro. DeMeco Ryans deserves so much credit. I will shout out Shane Steichen out in Philadelphia, though. What he's done, obviously we know Sirianni's an offensive coach, so you ding him for that. You say, oh, well, that's actually Sirianni. Steichen's the guy who's drawn up a lot of this stuff, and he's working with the quarterback, the run game coordinator, and, of course, making it work. That right there is Kevin Patullo, who he works with. Steichen is the guy on top of that, and I think Steichen is really the architect of this offense in many ways.
Peter, again, 50 voters, just 1 or 2 names that could have been bing bang on this list as well. Who do you think they missed on?
Ooh, who'd they miss on this one? Let's think. I would say Mike Kafka, the Giants offensive coordinator, for what he did with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. I thought he might deserve a place in this top 3. But you can literally go anywhere.
So many.
You can go Lou Anarumo out in Cincinnati with what they did.
Yep.
And, of course, you look at Dan Quinn in Dallas and what their defense did.
Here are the finalists for AP Offensive Player of the Year, presented by Microsoft Surface. Here we go. Tyreek Hill. Unbelievable season with Tua being hurt every now and then, coming off of a wide receiver year in tandem with Jalen Waddle. Fantastic year for the Dolphins. Jalen Hurts, Eagles quarterback, obviously you know his story and what he's done for this team. Justin Jefferson, some could argue he could be MVP, but Offensive Player of the Year nominee, finalist, it looks good too. And then, of course, Patrick Mahomes and everything he orchestrates with the Chiefs offense. Peter, what do we make of this list?
Usually the MVP goes to someone, and then the Offensive Player of the Year goes to someone else. In fact, I don't have a long history of player winning MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. So let's assume Mahomes is your MVP. Everyone's going to want to look at this guy. I'm going to this guy, Jalen Hurts. I feel like Jalen Hurts, Offensive Player of the Year, would make a lot of sense for what he did this season in the games that he played. 15-1 as a starter for the Philadelphia Eagles. That includes the playoffs. When he was on the field, they won every game except for one against Washington, and Hurts did it all. On the ground, through the air. I know that his stats are incredible, but the leadership qualities as well. As far as highlight reel, every single week you knew you were getting it. Offensive Player of the Year, I'm going Jalen Hurts. Did not play the complete season. Probably not going to be the MVP, but Offensive Player of the Year, I'll give it to him.
But might be the MVP. We
Might
don't
be.
know.
You know,
A few of you will get this. This category is always one of the most interesting ones. Peter's getting at. It's kind of like the Intercontinental Belt. It's not the heavyweight title belt, but Bret Hart still has it, and you respect it. And I think it's going here. I think it's going to Jefferson because, remember, it doesn't matter what he did or didn't do in the playoff game. This was a prolific performer week in, week out. So many 100-yard games, so many optics, so many storylines. This Vikings team dominated in the regular season. And I think if you sit down to vote and you look at these guys, the name just jumps off the ballot. And he's a likable, electric, incredible performer. I think it's going to go to Jefferson.
Yeah, it's hard to deny that. We all said, oh, he could be an MVP, but this was kind of going to be the award he could possibly win.
That's the way
with the MVP going to a quarterback. When I'm with Peter, I'm going Jalen Hurts.
Right.
I think he's had an incredible year. There was so much doubt in the offseason. Hey, between him and Tua, who's going to be the guy to rise to the occasion? Both getting a brand new receiver in A.J. Brown and Tyreek Hill, obviously, for the Dolphins. And Jalen Hurts, he's performed all season long. And I think he was at the top of the list for the MVP until he went down with the injury. So I'm going Jalen Hurts for offensive.
I'll be honest. I was surprised to see this name. I don't know why. There was something about when you just think about the position. This guy, biased or unbiased, just always led the position group for me. But I am also still going to go here. And I know I was banging this drum for MVP late in the season, but I think when you consider, again, total control and affect, when I looked back, not only in the numbers, but how this person affected their offense, player of the year offensively, I, too, am going to go Jalen.
Can I throw in someone who's not on this
list?
I think is playing this weekend? Travis Kelce had a pretty good year this year. We're talking about Offensive Player of the Year.
That's what I mean. Maybe
Was there anybody unstoppable in more spots as often as Travis Kelce was when it mattered most? Maybe had his best season as a pro and did it in a season where they lost Tyreek Hill as the deep threat.
I don't know if anybody is as good at their position as he is at tight end. He's just that good. But Jason, this is usually what you say. Let's talk defense.
Yes.
Depoy, guys, AP Defensive Player of the Year in a non-Aaron Donald year. It's like a non-Merrill year at the Oscars. Also no TJ Watt. Guys, here we go. These are the three. Nick Bosa, your classic front runner. Chris Jones of the Chiefs, underrated, still had 15.5 sacks, came strong in the back half of the year. And then Micah Parsons, who could have won it last year, won Defensive Rookie of the Year last year, and is probably the most talented defensive player in the league. These are the three absolute beasts. Yep. Jason McCourty, who should get the hardware?
Obviously, the first and the third name has been the two that every season from the interior, and he's dominant. Whoever's aligned across from, whether it's a center, whether it's a guard, they know it's going to be a long day when Chris Jones is there. And he also moves around that defensive line. I think he's a leader there. I love his voice when he goes to talk. Such a big guy.
Yeah.
And you guys know he doesn't have a playoff sack yet in his career. Still doesn't have a playoff sack. And obviously, regular season award, but he'll be playing this week, and I want to see what he does.
Attempting to go 2 for 2 in my defensive picks of the year. I could get Aiden Hutchinson. I picked Nick Bosa as well. Nick Bosa on an absolutely stacked defense still was like the highlighted guy. He would do things, unbelievably nasty things to offenses. We're like, my God, who what? Oh, of course, it was Nick Bosa. He had an unbelievable year. This defense, I know, is talented. You could say, like, oh, he's really got a jump. I still think Nick Bosa is the guy that led the league again, week 1 to the very end, and the votes come in the day after the regular season ends. Nick Bosa is the guy.
Peter, do you think there'll be a gasp in the auditorium if a name other than Bosa is read?
I think so, and I'm going to make the case for one. It's not the who's the sack leader award.
Right, it's not.
Who's the best defensive player in football? Who's the guy that you have to game plan against? If there's a knock on Nick Bosa, it's that Talanoa Hufanga is behind him. Freddie Warner's behind him. He's got Eric Armstead next to him. He had an amazing season, led the league in sacks. He'll win this award. I could see it. But gosh, Micah Parsons, how do you prepare for him? He did it all. Did it all from the defensive line position. Did it all from linebacker. Did it all from defensive back when they needed to. Micah Parsons is the most dynamic player in football because he is a positionless defensive player. I believe Nick Bosa will win this award and deserves it wholeheartedly. I also would say there's an argument to be made for the guy that didn't just lead the league in sacks. We do that every year. Who had the most sacks?
I know.
No, I think Micah Parsons put on quite a performance this season and did it from a variety of positions for Dallas.
Peter, it's a good take. Jamie, what on earth do we have next? This is very exciting.
It's a thrill. Here are the finalists for AP Comeback Player of the Year. Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, and Geno Smith. It's a great list. Great stories. That's kind of the beauty, I think, of one of my favorite awards is Comeback Player of the Year, is the stories behind these guys. And oftentimes, there was an expectation, there was a ceiling. There had to have been a drop-off. And then here they come climbing up again. The McCaffrey name in the middle there is fascinating because it involves a trade mid-season and what he has come on to do for the San Francisco offense. But then Geno Smith going undefeated against teams that had signed him previously as a quarterback this season. And then, of course, a classic up top. Really a guy that people had written off with the New York Giants. This is a really special list, Kyle. What do you think?
Memories from NFL Honors Past. I was on the red carpet with Christian, and he was up that year for Offensive Player of the Year, and he had just done 1,000 and 1,000. And I'm talking to him off the air, and I go, "You're going to take this home, right?" He goes, "I never win any awards. I guarantee I won't win." I go, what do you mean? He goes, "I didn't win the Heisman. I didn't win the Doug Walker. There's always somebody beats me out." Sure enough, even though he did 1,000 and 1,000, he lost to Michael Thomas, who had the all-time receptions record. Did not win. I'm going to say it right now. McCaffrey also doesn't win this one.
Bummer.
Kristen, I love you. You might win the Super Bowl, but I think this one's actually going to go Geno Smith.
Yeah, for years it's who came back from the most catastrophic injury and played well. And then Ryan Tannehill won it a few years ago with the Titans, and it was like he resurrected his career. I think Geno's the pick as well. I think Geno Smith, on his 4th one-year contract with the Seattle Seahawks, Geno Smith, a guy who's 32 years old and has bounced around the league and has just been waiting for an opportunity to get back under center as a QB1, to take his team to the playoffs and to win so many key games throughout this season. Geno Smith not only resurrected his career, but he gave a lot of different quarterbacks around the league who've been waiting their opportunity, waiting for a chance to shine. Some hope that could be them too.
It's the whole Geno Smith experience. In August, during training camp, it was Drew Lock, Geno Smith. Drew Lock gets COVID. Geno Smith has to start a preseason game just because the other guy has COVID, and he ran away with it. Pete Carroll told us in Germany that, I wanted it to be a tried and true competition until week 1, but Geno Smith took that job and he never looked back. I think it's a fantastic story. I just love this for Geno Smith.
I'm right with you, Kyle. Love Christian McCaffrey. 49ers are just so good. There's weapons everywhere. It's between Geno and Saquon. I love Saquon. I love his story. I remember we talked about him early in the season. He was on the podcast, and he was like, screw everybody. I'm going to go crazy. And he did that this year. A Giants team that nobody expected to be where they were by the end of the season. And a lot of that was on the back of Saquon Barkley, especially the way he started the season off. Towards the end, they had to start to spread the ball around and get it to other guys. But Saquon Barkley, so fun to watch his rookie year, second year, and seeing him look like that guy again this year was just tremendous to see.
These great names, really fun to talk about guys, just to look at their body. Let's keep it moving. It's time to announce the finalists for the AP Most Valuable Player Award, presented by Invisalign. The winner will be revealed as part of the 12th annual NFL Honors taking place on February 9th. Here's a look at the finalists.
All right.
This is a great list. This is drum roll worthy, all right? Here are the names. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Justin Jefferson, and Patrick Mahomes. We kind of were going through, you know these guys. You know why they're here. These finalists, each and every one of them could stand out to you for one particular reason or another. Peter, we know maybe your eye immediately draws here, but speak on anybody else here.
I think Burrow made a late charge in this thing, and I don't think he was in the conversation until that final few weeks of the season. But I'm going to go talk a little bit about Patrick Mahomes. Had arguably his best season since the 2018 campaign. It might have been better considering what he did without Tyreek Hill in the lineup. The numbers did not dip. The team's performance did not dip. The number 1 seed yet again, and did so with an entirely new cast of wide receivers. And, of course, found a way to get his team the number 1 seed and into Arrowhead. Mahomes, from wire to wire, you look at the numbers, the stats, then you look at the team performance. It's hard to poke a hole in that argument.
Yeah, just a great list of names, and it comes down to Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, and everybody was awesome, but it's those two guys, and I picked Mahomes at the beginning to be the MVP. I think the injury to Jalen Hurts late in the season and Mahomes keeping his trajectory. And to your point, what he did without Tyreek Hill, obviously he was going to be in the conversation, but I had this guy, I think, towards the end of the season winning it until he went down with the injury, and I think that allowed it to kind of be clear-cut Patrick Mahomes.
I look at Burrow, and I think he is far more likely to win Super Bowl MVP than NFL MVP. It's important to remind everybody, that game against the Bills has no bearing whatsoever on this award. It's a regular season award, as amazing as it was. And sometimes when we talk about Mahomes, the names Karl Malone and David Robinson come up, because if you're a kid from the 90s, Michael Jordan was the best player every single year. And every once in a while they'd be like, let's give it to Karl Malone. He did not deserve it over Jordan. I don't care. Salt Lake City, I love you. Patrick Mahomes is the Jordan right now. And I think the injury with Hurts really is the thing, because he was cruising. I was on the Hurts thing, but in the last month of the season, it's so important, I think, especially for voting. I think Mahomes will win and should.
Again, if one wants to focus on the word valuable in the award, you could lean with the Hurts argument because 15-1, because he was so valuable in the games that he was not playing. His team struggled. The offense suffered. The value for this team lies in Jalen Hurts. but we never really saw the Chiefs. So then if you go that direction, you can't like pull Mahomes off the field and be like, well, what would the Chiefs would have done? Well, I guess we just saw it last weekend. Whatever, you got to shut your brain down on January 9th,
Didn't
okay?
count. Didn't count.
You have to. It didn't count, all right? I really like the Jalen Hurts argument, but Patrick Mahomes had a hell of a year. The numbers stand out in and of itself. I think it'll be at Mahomes right away. So you're saying it's not an asterisk year? It's not.
No, absolutely not.
Does he get unanimous?
No, I don't think he does.
No.
I think Hurts was sensational this year. And, like, I think especially in this era now, I think that we love the running stats. We love the rushing touchdowns. We love the running yards. Allen has a ton. Hurts has a ton. I think that helps. I think people like that. I think he'll get votes.
I believe Lamar was unanimous, and I could be wrong. I think Mahomes was unanimous when he won it.
Will it be?
It feels like this might be unanimous.
You think so?
Think so?
Will it be a second year in a row the wide receiver is on a list but does not receive a single vote? Remember what happened to Cooper Kupp last year?
Yeah.
That's interesting. All right, time for. I know that's fine.
It's
just
tough.
interesting.
You're going to need a 3,000-yard season.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.